Hi, I'm making a really simple dinner tonight that's healthy but awesome. I'm just gonna wrap some boneless, skinless chicken breasts around some steamed broccoli and cheese, but it's the coating that I use that makes the chicken come out tender and juicy and the outside really crunchy and awesome with a buttery taste. And then I'm gonna serve it with some pureed sweet potatoes with a touch of cinnamon. So, start your oven, turn it to 350 degrees. Okay, first cut the stems off of a handful size head of broccoli, wash the florets and steam them. Instead of using the large electric steamer, I'm just going to use a pan of a little bit of water and put the broccoli in a steamer. Do it over the stove top over medium heat. While the broccoli is steaming, I'm going to make the crumbs, which are surprisingly delicious. Just put about 15 Triscuit Crackers into a baggie, and then we're going to roll them with a rolling pin to crunch them up until they're the size of breadcrumbs. You want to use the original Triscuits. They also have sea salt in them, so we don't have to add any salt to the mixture. Okay, and when they're finely ground, just dump them into a large bowl. For the coating, beat 1 egg with a large dollop of mayonnaise. You don't need to measure it, just put about a large spoonful in there. The mayonnaise is egg-based, but it also has a touch of paprika and sweetness with the acidity of lemon juice and vinegar. And since it has soybean oil as well, it makes the coating adhere better and the chicken juicier. Okay, I'm gonna check the broccoli to make sure it's tender. And it's definitely ready. So I'm gonna drain that in a really fine sieve so that the broccoli pieces don't fall out. I'm gonna pat the broccoli dry just a little bit, and now we're gonna wrap up the chicken. I'm gonna grab a little cutting board that's easy to sanitize since the chicken's still raw. I'm gonna take one of the cutlets and a half a slice of the deli cheese. I'm using a Lacy Swiss. I've used provolone before and it was just too mild. You couldn't taste it. Cheddar cheese would be really good, but it's just gonna be a whole different flavor. So I'm placing 1/4 of the broccoli on each piece of chicken and then the other half of the slice of cheese. And we're gonna roll this up and secure it with the skewers. Okay, so do that for each of the 4 pieces and then we're going to coat them and bread them. And now we're gonna coat them. So you're gonna want a cookie sheet sprayed with a little bit of cooking spray. And we're gonna coat the chicken and bread it. And you're gonna see how I do it with the skewers, that I don't even get my hands messy. I put the skewers over it and just spoon the mixture over it instead of having to dip it in there. And then coat it with the Triscuit crumbs, and you can just smell that they're gonna be awesome. Now I'm gonna melt 2 tablespoons of butter in the microwave. Now I'm gonna drizzle the butter on top of each one, and oh, does that make them taste awesome. I just kind of carefully dab it on there so that the crumbs don't fall off. And we're gonna pop it in the oven. Set your timer for about 25 minutes, and then we'll check the chicken at that time and make sure it's no longer pink on the inside. If you have a meat thermometer, check the chicken at about 25 minutes and make sure that it's reached 165 degrees. While the chicken's in the oven, let's make some sweet potato puree. Okay, fill your pot with some water. Turn your burner on high, and we're gonna peel and cube the sweet potatoes. Cut them into cubes about this size so that they boil quicker. Add a little bit of salt to the water, and when it begins to boil, carefully add your cubed sweet potatoes. Okay, my water's boiling, so I'm gonna put my sweet potatoes in. grab my cinnamon. And then I'm going to melt about 2 tablespoons of butter and a splash of milk in the microwave, you know, just so that it's warm when I go to mix the potatoes. Okay, I'm gonna check the sweet potatoes. They are tender, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain them. Okay, and I'm gonna put them in my blender with the milk and butter that I melted. And give them a swirl. And when they look like they're not going to splatter all over me, I'll increase the speed. I'm going to scrape down the sides and keep them going until they're really smooth. Okay, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. We'll give that a whirl and then I'll taste it. Perfect. Okay, I had taken my chicken out because it reached its 165-degree temperature. Although my oven was different, it took me about 30 minutes or a little bit longer. Okay, let's plate them. And there you have it, a really simple meal, healthy, and awesome. If you'd like to see more of my videos, please click subscribe. Thanks for watching.